Welcome to Leadership from the Inside Out. I probably won't ever forget the time while I was incarcerated when I was called to the bathroom. Now, in prison, if you're called to the bathroom, it doesn't mean that somebody thinks that it's time for you to urinate. It means that somebody has a problem with you and they want to fight. I wasn't really certain why someone wanted to fight me, and when I got to the bathroom, the individual that stood there, I didn't know him and he didn't know me. Apparently, he had been sent by somebody else because apparently they were too much of a coward to deal with it themselves. This individual was not particularly imposing, and so I basically said, what's the issue? And he said, we've got to fight. And I said, why is that? And he said, I don't know. I was told I had to come in here and fight you. And I said, interesting. So he squared up, and I didn't take any offensive move. I have enough fighting background to feel comfortable or confident in that situation. But he took a couple of swings, and I was able to either parry them or dodge them altogether. And after he had taken a few swings and whatnot, I decided I'd had about enough of his nonsense and basically literally just pushed him to the floor and said, "You're done," and I walked out. And when that happened, a curious thing occurred. People that I had invested in their lives and who seemed to actually genuinely care were infuriated by the incident. Turns out the incident truly was completely uncalled for. The individual that had sent the guy that stood in front of me had no basis for their accusations, and the entire fight ended up being one of those things where everyone wanted to blame somebody else. But in the meantime, I learned a wonderful lesson about alliances. Who we align with matters big time, and in those moments I had a couple of opportunities. One, I got to understand how valuable it was to have some of the people in my life that I did. People that maybe had experiences I didn't have, people that knew people I didn't know, and that came in pretty handy. But I also thought of the kid that had stood in front of me and recognized the alliances that he had made had set him up for failure. Interestingly enough, it wasn't very long before he was in enough trouble that he ended up leaving that unit, completely unrelated to the incident I've described, but nonetheless, his alliances didn't do a whole lot for him. And I think this is really true as leaders. Sometimes as leaders, we are very pragmatic, and so we're looking at the alliances that make the most sense in the moment to accomplish what we need to accomplish, and there can be a lot of value in that. At the same time, there can be a lot of negative value. Sometimes the people that we think are on our side or that we think we have a shared and common goal with, well, they've got their own agenda. And so I would just say I learned a critical lesson in these moments, and many more very similar to this, maybe not fight related, but other incidents where I learned that alliances matter. So the leadership lesson that I would like to share with you today is the value of effective alliances.